Warhammer Skulls 2025 premiered on May 22nd, and now we have a pretty good idea of what the next year of Warhammer games looks like. And today I want to talk about what the best upcoming Warhammer games are, what the best updates are, and talk about some of the premieres that we saw at Warhammer Skulls. So let's just jump right into it. Let's start by talking about a lot of the big updates that are going to be coming out for a lot of the games that we would consider live service or games that have post-launch support. And the first big one, of course, is Darktide, and Darktide is getting a new class called the Arbites. If you don't know what an Arbites or Arbites is, it's basically a comp within the Warhammer 40k universe. What makes the Arbites unique compared to the other classes in Darktide is that it's basically going to be the game's de facto pet class because it has a Cyber Mastiff. The Arbites is going to be available in a DLC that players can purchase for $12, and the release date for this is going to be on June 23rd. Additionally, Vermatine II got an update called the Well of Dreams, and this represents the final chapter in the Verminous Dreams saga. The update, of course, includes the Well of Dreams map, in addition to adding a couple of quality of life fixes and adjustments to Chaos Wastes, which is still the best game mode that Fetshark has ever made. I absolutely want to see something like Chaos Wastes appear in Darktide at some point. Next up, Space Marine 2 is going to be getting its Siege mode on June 26th. The Siege mode is the highly anticipated Horde mode that players have been asking for a long time, and it looks like we're going to have all sorts of goodies appear in the Siege mode, including things like Dreadnoughts, Bio-Titans, maybe being able to fight multiple bosses at the same time or multiple Terminus enemies at the same time. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I honestly just can't wait to try it. And I don't know if all of these studios coordinated this, but on June 24th, we're also going to be getting the Lex Imperialis DLC for Rogue Trader, which is going to include the Arbites Origin and also the Overseer archetype, basically allowing you to play as a cop with pets inside of Rogue Trader as well. The last big update that I want to cover is Total Warhammer 3 Tides of Torment, which is set for a summer release, and it's probably going to include that Slaanesh rework that the developers have been teasing for a long time now, probably add something for Norska as well, and maybe even something for High Elves. There are going to be updates to other Warhammer games as well, such as Battle Sector, Gladius, Tacticus, and any of the other mobile games or card games that I really don't like to cover on this channel, mostly because I like games that are action-packed or very story-oriented, and those games just don't really do it for me. Next up, I want to talk about some release date announcements and previews. Specifically, Speed Freaks actually launched the day that Skulls premiered on May 22nd, so it's definitely something that I want to check out because they have chosen a different publisher, and with this new publisher you don't have to register with a third-party account like you had to do with their previous one. So this is a huge W in my opinion. Additionally, there's just significantly more maps in the game, unlockable orcs apparently. I definitely want to get my hands on this and try it out, see what changes the game has made since early access, so I can't wait to play it. Next, I want to talk about previews, more specifically one preview in particular that stood out to me above the rest. Mechanicus II, man. Votune were revealed, or Votune, however you say it. Space Dwarves are going to be premiering for the first time in a video game, in a Warhammer 40k video game, in Mechanicus II. And they're a great Xenos faction that just got a codex for the tabletop game. So I can't wait to see how they're going to interact with the Adeptus Mechanicus and with the Necrons here. It should be pretty dang cool. I can't wait to see what the developers have in store for us. In addition to previews, we also got some new game reveals or game premieres, and the first that I want to talk about is the Dawn of War Definitive Edition. Holy shit, man, when they showed the trailer, I fucking teared up as a grown man because Dawn of War was my introduction to Warhammer 40k, and knowing that it's going to be more easily accessible to the masses is just fucking phenomenal, because I know that a lot of people in this gen or the next gen are going to fucking love the game, and the fact that it's going to have modding support, like, it's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait for it to release later on this year. I'm definitely going to be playing it. I can't wait to fully mod it up and have a crazy experience. And I know if you pick it up, you're going to have a crazy experience too. And speaking of remasters or re-releases, on June 10th, we're actually going to be getting the Space Marine Mastercrafted Edition, which is a remaster of the original Space Marine game, which I am definitely going to hop onto, specifically because I want to relive the story that I experienced years ago. I don't think that the gameplay is going to measure up to Space Marine 2. I think that Space Marine 2 has a phenomenal combat system, whereas Space Marine, if I remember correctly, was a bit more spammy. I will say, though, that the shooting in Space Marine was pretty crisp, and if they include quality of life features for multiplayer, such as dedicated servers or just better matchmaking in general, honestly, if they're going to use peer-to-peer, it's probably going to be better nowadays anyways, because back in 2009 or whatever, everyone's internet was completely like shit. But nowadays, people have some pretty good internet, so if it's peer-to-peer, then multiplayer connection should just be better all around. But the future of Warhammer games isn't just in remasters and remakes. Bolt Gun 2 got announced as a sequel to Bolt Gun, which is going to be coming out in 2026, and personally, I'm excited because I feel like I'm the target audience for this game as someone who grew up with games like Doom and other retro shooters. And nothing more really needs to be said about Bolt Gun 2. It's just going to be more Bolt Gun if I had to guess, and that's not a bad thing. And I saved the best for last here, so Dark Heresy got announced. It's going to be a CRPG made by Owlcat, the guys who did Rogue Trader. And if you guys haven't played Rogue Trader, it is 100% the best Warhammer 40k or Warhammer RPG period, and one of the best CRPGs that I've ever played. So them dabbling with Dark Heresy and with the Inquisition, adding more Xenos factions, adding more content, doing full voiceovers. The entire game is going to be completely voice acted, which is a pretty expensive feat, by the way. I absolutely cannot wait for Dark Heresy. I think that it's going to be a great game. It looks like it's already pretty far along in development because a lot of gameplay was shown in their reveal. So I am anticipating that this is probably going to release in 2026, 2027, but I can't wait to get my hands on it. With all that being said, I think that the future of Warhammer games is looking pretty damn good. I can't wait to get my hands on these updates for Darktide, Space Marine 2, and Rogue Trader that are all going to be coming out at the end of June, and I can't wait to play Mechanicus 2 and Dark Heresy in the far future. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to the most in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you absolutely love Warhammer games like I do. As always, this has been Mechanicus, and I'll see you in-game.